The hall was quiet when the abbot began to speak. Not the kind of silence that feels empty, but the kind that listens. He stood before them in simple robes, hands folded, eyes calm. The followers had traveled far. Some carried exhaustion. Some carried shame. Some carried questions they had never spoken aloud. The abbot looked at them gently and said, "Before I speak of power, we must speak of beginnings. The forgotten beginning. Every human being," the abbot said, "is born into a story they did not write. Some of you were born into warmth, some into chaos, some into love that was loud, and others into neglect that was silent. Neglect does not always arrive as cruelty. Often it arrives as absence. No hand on the shoulder, no voice saying, 'I see you,' no mirror reflecting back who you were becoming. And so many of you learned early, to be quiet to survive, to be useful to be noticed, to shrink your needs so you wouldn't be a burden. You grew up learning how to function, but not how to feel safe." The abbot paused. "You did not imagine this," he said, "and you did not fail." The lie of the origin story. "Here is the lie most wounded people believe," the abbot continued. "They believe their beginning defines their ending. They believe, because I was unseen, I must remain invisible. Because I was neglected, I must be unworthy. Because no one protected me, I must protect myself by closing my heart." This lie hardens into identity. You stop saying, "This happened to me," and start saying, "This is who I am." And without realizing it, you live inside a story written by pain. The abbot's voice softened. "But hear me now," he said. "Your origin story explains your wounds. It does not own your future." The man who believed he was broken. The abbot began a story. "There was once a young man," he said, "who believed something was wrong with him. He was not abused. He was not abandoned. He was simply overlooked. As a child, his achievements were unnoticed, his emotions unanswered, his fears met with silence. So he learned to disappear politely. As an adult, he was successful, but hollow, kind, but exhausted, strong, but never at rest. He felt guilt for wanting more, shame for needing care, and confusion for feeling empty despite doing everything right. One day, he came to a monastery like this one, and he asked the same question many of you carry silently. Why do I feel broken when nothing bad enough happened to me? The abbot's answer. The abbot smiled gently at the man and said, "A plant does not need violence to wither. It only needs the absence of water. Neglect leaves no visible scars, but it teaches the nervous system to stay alert, the heart to stay guarded, the soul to stay small. You adapted beautifully," the abbot told him. "But adaptation is not the same as freedom." The young man wept, not because he was weak, but because someone finally named his pain. The turning point, rewriting the story. The abbot turned back to his followers. "This," he said, "is where transformation begins. Not by erasing the past, not by blaming parents endlessly, not by pretending you were never hurt, but by rewriting the meaning of what happened. Neglect taught you survival skills, emotional awareness, independence, sensitivity, depth, strength, but survival was only the training ground. You were never meant to stay there," the abbot said. "Your pain shaped you, but it does not get to command you." Transforming neglect into power. The abbot raised one finger. First shift, from "what's wrong with me" to "what happened to me?" Shame dissolves when curiosity replaces judgment. Second shift, from self-abandonment to self-parenting. You become the voice you never heard, the protector you never had, the witness you always needed. Third shift, from emotional numbness to emotional literacy. You learn to feel without drowning, to name emotions without being owned by them. Fourth shift, from people-pleasing to boundaries. Boundaries are not walls. They are instructions for how to love you. Fifth shift, from victim identity to author identity. You stop living as a character in someone else's story and begin writing your own. The birth of personal power. Personal power, the abbot said, is not dominance. It is emotional steadiness, self-trust, inner permission, the courage to exist fully. It is waking up no longer asking, "Am I allowed to take up space?" and instead saying, "I belong here." The man from the story did not become flawless. He did not erase his wounds, but he stopped letting them speak for him. He learned to respond instead of react, to choose instead of comply, to stay instead of disappear. And slowly his life changed, not because the past vanished, but because it no longer ruled him. The final teaching. The abbot looked at each follower. "You are not behind," he said. "You are not broken. You are not late. You are simply waking up to authorship. Your origin story was written in conditions you did not choose. But this chapter, this moment, belongs to you. Neglect shaped your sensitivity. Now let it shape your wisdom. Pain trained your depth. Now let it fuel your purpose. And remember this truth above all. You are not here to repeat your past. You are here to redeem it. The hall remained silent. But this time, the silence felt different. It felt like something had been rewritten.